my first permanent six-figure role while already working a six-figure contract role honestly still feel crazy to me. And if you stay into the end, I'll tell you how much I was offered, the benefit package, and why I eventually walked away from it all. Now, at this point in my life, I had already worked in banking, procurement, project coordination, project management, and I had been running my own organization helping students since 2018. So by 2022, I already had about 5 years of combined operational and project experience under my belt, plus 2 years post MBA. Now, one thing about me, I was applying, okay? Indeed was my friend. I remember while working at this contract position, because if you guys been watching me, you've seen in one of my other videos, I was in 2 six-figure contract positions. And so even though when I was let go from the first one, I was the first contract role, my manager gave me that 6-week notice to find another job, etc. I wasn't sure how that was going to work in my favor this time around. So I just wanted to be prepared. And with that, I started looking for other opportunities. And so I just remember applying, and I remember applying for this program management role while still actively working my six-figure contract role. Immediately after applying, they made me take this assessment. And baby, okay, when I tell you this test was ridiculous, okay, absolutely ridiculous. That's what they said. Ridiculous. It was ridiculous, guys. It was puzzles, scenarios, problem solving, weird little games. What does this have to do with the paycheck? Is what I was thinking from where I was sitting. But it was actually kind of fun. Then the same day, I had to complete a video interview. Now, one thing about those pre-recorded interviews, some people, they hate them. I actually incorporated them about 4 or 5 years ago into my organization. No, back in 2020, I incorporated video interviews, and people actually liked them, and they were very easy for us to navigate. But me doing it myself, I don't know if I like it that much. We don't have it now in our organization, but I didn't necessarily like that, because who wants to sit there recording themselves answering questions into the void like a corporate hostage video, okay? But I completed it, and later the same day, I got a message saying that they reviewed my video interview. And from there, the real interviews started. So I had multiple interviews, one with the VP I directly be supporting under, another with the woman I actually be replacing because she accepted a role with the competing organization. Now, both interviews went really well, but she asked me one question I would never, ever forget. She said, if there was a book written about your life, what would it be titled? I froze for like a good 20 seconds. And I just let the silence fill the air. And she said, after maybe about that 18, 19 second mark, she said, never mind, you don't have to answer. And as she said, never mind, I blurted out helping people. That's what my book would be called, helping people. And honestly, if you know me, you know that answer makes complete sense. I had already opened and trained an environment helping people gain experience for free. And when I was young, if you know me, you know in 6th grade, I used to be a rapper, y'all, okay? A lot of y'all don't even know that. I used to be a hardcore rapper, okay? And in 6th grade, there was a talent show at school, and the name of my rap was called I Will Help You If You Need Some Help. I was on stage, 6th grade, I rapped, everybody was clapping my hands, it was hot, it was I did my thing. I probably rapped all the way until I was, 17, 18, 19 years old. And then I had to do some other stuff. But anyways, so even in 6th grade, I'm making a rap. I will help you if you need some help. Hey, don't be rapping and tapping around, or you want there. I'll be there. Yeah, y'all remember. So looking back, that answer probably told her more about me than some polished corporate response ever could. And eventually I received an offer. The offer came around June or July while I was still working my contract role. And my contract role still had another 5 months left. So yes, for a while I worked both simultaneously. Now let's talk about the offer. Because honestly, I feel like I was lowballed a little bit in my adult age. But I was so thankful at the time. You know, the package itself, it was 114,000 base salary, yearly raises, annual bonuses based on the company's performance. I had unlimited PTO, unlimited sick time, and I had a corporate card for travel with $5,000 on it that I actually just recently cut up because I retired from corporate. And my bonuses, my first bonus was $5,000 for the first year. The next one was $8,000, and this is after taxes, after taxes. And then the last bonus I received, which was right before I retired, was for $11,000 after taxes. And I was bringing home around $7,000 a month consistently. Now, for a lot of people, that's the dream. Stable, 6 figures, benefits, bonuses, corporate title, security. And honestly, I was so proud of myself, very proud. Because I came from restaurant jobs, mall jobs, random survival jobs, being fired from Foot Locker, to sitting in executive meetings making 6 figures. And that mattered a lot to me. But eventually I realized something. Reliable money can still quietly limit your bigger vision. And at 35, I want something different now. I want to build opportunities, create systems. I want to help people. I want to build wealth without ceilings, because yes, corporate can absolutely provide stability, but ownership changes generations. And eventually I realized I didn't want to spend the next 20 years helping somebody else build their vision while mine sat on the side. So I left. I reached out to my boss. We talked for a minute. I told her I was moving out the country. We are doing something different. I bet on myself. And honestly, that was one of the scariest decisions I've ever made. It's still scary. But one thing interviews in corporate taught me is that your experience matters. Every role, every rejection, every weird interview, every random skill, it all compounds. I just got told that I was a vibe coder. Okay. I didn't even know what a vibe coder was. An AI training where they talked about it, because I build websites and I just do stuff like that on my spare time, for people who need help. Okay. And yeah, I'm a vibe coder. So like just those random skills that you don't even know about that are coming naturally to us as we dig into this new youth of technology and changes in our systems and our processes, and it all compounds. So take a look at the screen and ask yourself these questions here. Because those are two completely different paths. And that's why at RAC, we don't just prepare people for interviews. We help you understand positioning, leadership presence, professional storytelling, and long-term career strategy. Because sometimes the interview changes your life, but sometimes your mindset after the interview changes it even more. DM RAC to get started, or visit us at www.wrightsresumes.com.